Hello,
Hello,
Internet.
Internet. Welcome to Otome Theory, the show that just exists for this episode specifically, and no other episodes will be made because this is an exclusive. This is for the fun. This is for the theories. This is for the lore. It's also for Rice-chan's birthday, but we will get to that later.
Yeah, you already heard my special guest today in this episode, this solely episode of Atome Theory, and it's Vonnie-chan. Hi, Vonnie.
Hi.
You see,
Hi, I'm Vonnie. I am strange, and I enjoy other games that are also strange that just so happen to have Q poison in them, but you know.
I see we really mixed good with each other. Yeah, and you also have me, Erenya, and I'm your host today, and yeah, we hope, Rice, you will enjoy this episode because we put many thoughts in it and many silly interactions.
Yes, I'm so excited about this.
I think we should explain why are we doing this theory and theory about what exactly? What game? What
So
movie?
it is a game that is called Heart Cage, and it is an Atome game. An Atome game is basically like a dating game, what's it called? A visual novel, just something that helps you immerse in a world and interact with different characters and stuff. It's really fun. It's one of my favorite genre of games. And usually an Otome game is something to do with anime or just like that sort of art style specifically, and having to do with like dating concepts and dating routes with different characters. Heart Cage specifically is a little different. Heart Cage is an Otome mystery game, which means there is a story unfolding here. It follows the main character, whose placeholder name is Orly. She's a beautiful doll of a girl. She's got this pretty white hair. Her outfit is adorable. Um, and she is a detective, and she was hired on a commission to go and, quote, investigate the strange happenings of Usodar Town. No other explanation, just that and a fine for like $50,000 or something. And her boss, Clark, who is one of the characters, sent her to do this and not him or her other coworker by the name of Sid. So that's where she is for most of the game. In this town, she meets other characters such as Dane, her landlord, who also runs a cat cafe on the lower level of the apartment building that she lives in. He's adorable. He's so sweet. I have so many things to say about him because I feel like he's like right at the center of this. She also meets an equally adorable, but also like slightly more concerning mad scientist type dude. He's a chemist and his name is Enox. He has a very strange name. I like his name. And he's more like the flustered anger issues like tsundere type, but he's got this weird condition that we will continue on later. And this police officer dude by the name of Luke, and he's charming, he's kind, he's helpful, he's really creepy when he wants to be. He might be one of the most intriguing characters in the game. And he's also like been there in that town to investigate things as well. So it seems. Last character would be G Sharp. G Sharp is a sweetheart. G Sharp is a rock star in a popular band called Soul, who will be performing at a festival that will come later in the game. I do not know what his deal is, but he is connected to Dane in some way. But he's a sweetheart. I love him. And this entire time, our main character has been like hooked on or fixated on the murder of her parents, because she was her parents were murdered and she was made an orphan at a young age. And she has just been trying to find the killer of her parents because apparently the killer hadn't died. He hadn't been shot in a police standoff like they originally thought he did. Because as soon as she gets to Usurai town, the night that she gets there, she finds a body that was killed in the exact same manner as her parents were. So that made her want to stay even more and figure out what's going on. But there have also been odd supernatural happenings that make it so that she has some sort of connection with all of the guys that she's met. There is a thing that happens in the beginning of the game. We will not be talking about that right now, but there is a thing, and it is confusing.
You mean we will not talk about?
So essentially, we're just trying to. We're not talking about it. We can't talk about it.
We will both flush the hell out of us.
But yeah, essentially, we're just trying to figure out what's going on in this town. Why are all these guys so hot and confusing? And why me? Why specifically us? Why is this our problem?
Because we are cute.
It's probably because we're adorable. They always do the worst things to the cute ones. It's so sad.
Okay, so now we know some things about the game. What was your first time you get to know this game, Vonnie-chan?
So I am a huge fan of the YouTuber by the name of Espoir du Vide. I have been watching her content for a while. I find her content amazing, and she's really funny, and I have a lot in common with her. And she plays games like this all the time. Like, this is her content. She plays dating games and yandere games and things of the sort. So I was literally just cruising on her channel trying to find a new game to play because I love playing these independent games that you find on itch.io. And I found this one, and the thumbnail had Enox and his watermelon ring pop hair on it. I was like, okay, who are you? Let's do this. I did not expect to get so obsessed with this game so fast because, and I'm a little bit concerned and embarrassed for myself because why am I coming up with fully fledged backstories and theories about silly little game about silly little pretty boys? And it's not silly, Rice. I promise. I'm joking. I'm sorry.
Silly in a good way.
But yeah, yeah, it's silly in the best way possible. I promise. But yeah, I watched that video and then I immediately started like the mystery has a chokehold on me right now. Like, I joined that Discord server so fast, you have no idea. And then I played the game for myself. I actually like went and downloaded the demo for myself because I wanted to see what else was going on. I definitely didn't play the NSFW version first. I promise that was not what happened. And you cannot tell if anybody says that. I have a lawyer. Anyway, so the mystery got me. All the voice acting is beautiful. It's fantastic. Everyone's voices were perfectly cast. And there are certain attributes about the characters that got me really interested. Like, Enox is everything. Dane's scarring, like, why is G Sharp's hair so weird? I'm really confused about the two little teeny tiny like strands of hair on him. Like, I'm kind of confused about what that is. But it hooked me. It really did. And I'm so excited to see where else it goes. And then the extended demo dropped and I lost my mind because what's going on with Sid? I'm concerned.
Not only you.
Yeah.
I found the game on, I could say on Twitter or X or how it is called today. It's more like I found Rice. I was in my phase where I searched for new visual novels, best otome visual novels, and yeah, I saw Rice, saw her promoting her game as a demo, and I thought, okay, let's look at it. I wrote Rice and asked, hey, can I stream your game? And Rice said, yes, of course, you can. And yeah, rest is history. I streamed her game. Of course, the save for work part, not enough save for work part. Otherwise, Twitch had banned me in an instant. And and while I was playing it, I was jiggling, I was blushing. Maybe I had a little bit alcohol with me. And my viewers loved how much this game excited me, and it was like, oh gosh, guys, we can't trust Luke. Look at Luke. Look at his. Look at him. He looks like a psycho.
He's very untrustworthy. He's the least trustworthy out of everybody here. I'm calling it.
And the first time I saw Dane, it was, oh my god, I love cats. And then there was Dane, and I love this guy already. And then I heard Nick's voice for Dane, and I was like, wait, you heard this voice one time before. Is he the voice actor of Ryoji from Persona 3? No, he's not. Sadly, but he sounds like him. And
yeah, he kind of does actually sound like him. I just made that comparison. That's a great observation, actually.
And I was really embarrassed about Enox. I was there.
Just Enox.
I was
goodness.
I was there sitting, reading, translating, and then there was this text that he got a bulge, and I was like, guys, I can't read it. I'm blushing so hard right now.
Is this allowed?
I can't translate it, guys, because my community is mainly manly. And so I got a little bit embarrassed at that moment.
Oh, come on. They're big boys. They can do it. Come on.
Yeah, they teased me really like this in some way. And yeah, then we choose the boy of my dreams. Of course, it is Dane. He's so totally my type. I learned in my Otome experience life, I have a crush on people with darker skin, and yeah, I guess Dane fits.
It's a good taste to have.
Oh, he's so hot. And he loves cats. He has cats, and he has a cafe, and prepares a latte macchiato, and yay.
He's so paternal. Like he's so house husband material. He can cook, he can clean, he loves animals, he's kind, he always knows when something's up, he's resourceful, he can fix stuff, man. That is marriage material. And I would marry him if it weren't for the lore.
I would marry him too if I don't need to be scared that he will cage me someday.
Yeah, that whole thing.
I swear.
I got questions.
I swear to God. Do you know Amnesia, the Otome game?
Yeah.
I swear he has an Yandere cage somewhere in his cellar, and he will take it out and he will put us in there. I swear to God.
Oh no, I don't want to get in the literal arcade, please.
I loved the Yandere cage. I loved it in Amnesia, and I would love if Dane put this on. I really would love it.
That would be terrifying. Oh my god.
Imagine him putting in some cute little adults in there, bringing every day some yummy, delicious latte macchiato or some homemade food. I would live in there for 1 or 2 days.
I would mind it less if it was just like a room. Like if it was just like a nice bedroom that I just couldn't leave, I would mind that less, I guess. But a literal cage, absolutely not. You'd have to catch me first.
Oh, and how you will catch you. I mean, intro sequence?
I mean, so they literally have to catch me because me and main character Chan, me and MC, me and Orly, we are not the same at all.
I felt
Because
like
she's just walking into these things. She's just walking straight into these situations. However, the second that I see Enox and his weird everything, I'm leaving town. I'm giving up on the case. I'm quitting being a detective. I'm not even gonna try anymore. I'm leaving. Goodbye.
and you would make daddy sad.
Aw, I'm so sad. Anyway.
But I was like her as she got the information. Yeah, you need to go to Usoda town, and yeah, I already got paid, and you are the only one who can do this. So please do it. I was.
You know how quickly I would have thrown coffee in Clark's face so fast? Oh my gosh.
I was saying things like, but my vacation! My vacation! I
had plans.
I had plans. I already booked the flight to whatever where it is. Yeah, I really felt for Orly there, and yeah, I really loved playing it. I really loved playing the extended version in my stream too. As Cheese Sharp was there, I was like, humba humba.
He's such a good boy. I love him.
I can bake sweets for him. He is a sweet tooth. Of course, he's a good boy. And a yandere. I guess we didn't saw his crazy manners already.
I mean, not yet, but he did say something about a muse. So, I mean, it's gonna show up eventually.
Yeah, I hope it will not show up with a knife and the words saying, I get some sweet music out of you.
That's terrifying. That is a thought. That is a thought. Oh my god.
I'm old. I saw many horror movies. I played many games. Maybe I got infected with some dark thoughts.
It's probably fine. It's probably fine.
I imagine Rice-chan sitting right now hearing this podcast and jiggling like crazy. So this was our first entry into Heartcage, our first impression, and then we meet each other at Discord. You, the big theorist who could make MadFat run for his money.
Yeah, I'm taking all of Matt Pat's royalties. I'm taking all of his properties. I'm sorry. I'm better than him. I'm just better. It just is what it is. I'm sorry.
Just give him some money for his baby.
Oh, we'll pay child support.
Is Heartcage the only game you theorize about, or are there any other games?
Oh, of course not. No, I'm very big on this genre of game. I have lots of theories about the game Sunny Day Jack by Snack Pop Studios. I adore that game with all of my heart. I'm so excited for the full game to come out. I also really liked My Dear Hatchet Man. Also really excited for that come out. For that to come out. It's so cute. Alan O'Ryan is my darling. I love him so much. I am so excited for the horror elements to kick in because from what I've seen on the Tumblr, it's gonna be weird. What else? What other game did I really like? Ooh, Touchstarved. Have you heard about that?
Yes,
I'm so excited for that one to come out.
Yeah,
It's gonna be so great. And the demo was the demo was so long. Like it gave us so much. I thought it was just gonna be the whole game. And then it cut off at the point that it did, and I was like, oh yeah, it's not even fully out yet. Wait, this is good. I'm so excited. And it's got like a similar plot line to Heart Cage, but it's more like dark fantasy, a little more interactive, you know, like it's really cool. I highly recommend. But yes, I do theorize about the silly dating games quite a bit actually. It's one of my favorite things to talk about.
So people, you heard it here first here. Maybe Otome Theory channel is not far away. Yeah. I'm. We wrote it down with Erenya's talents, and I said I don't have
like
talents.
what you like to do.
I like.
Okay,
well, it's a lie.
What
it's
about
a lie.
your history with these games? What about your history with these games? Like, how long have you been playing like Otome games and stuff?
Oh boy, far too long. People would say. I kind of started off with a correct Nintendo DS. And played so the Japanese version of Kaikan Phrase. I didn't know anything.
Oh, that's one of the OGs. Oh man.
Yeah, it's really an old game. And later I found out, hey, there's manga, and I bought the whole manga. it's
as you do.
It's in my collection right now, together with some other stories of Mayu Shinyo, who made Kaikan Phrase and How Iron and many other stories. How Iron is really dark and really sexy. And yeah, it's I never really saw it as the otome genre. It just started with Hakuouki. This was my really first known experience of otome games, and I fell in love with Sochi Okita at the first time, and later, as I played nearly every route, the last one was Harada Sanosuke. And I thought, okay, I don't like him really much, so he's the last one I do. And then Sochi is not number one anymore. it's right now it's Harada Sanosuke since that day. And I watched the anime after this. I searched for other games, which was really hard because Western releases on PSP wasn't really a thing. Also on Nintendo, and it was hard to get in touch with such games. I played Sweet Fuse, one of the rare localizations on PSP. And yeah, I got deeper and deeper and much more deeper until the Vita came out, and we got games like Code Realize, and I got into Utano Prince Sama, the anime, and found a really good friend of mine there who is still my soul sister until this day. And we watched Kamigami no Asobi together. We watched the last season of Utano Prince Sama together. We tried to watch Code Realize, but we never finished it. I never finished it. She did. She did solely for impy purpose. Yeah, and so I got really deep into Otome. And since last year, I think I got deeper into the community, the English community on X and Twitter. I followed Ellie-chan and other Otome fans there, and I really enjoy their silly, in a positive way, silly interactions with each others. I also found Waifu-chan there, who made Otome game herself, Twisted Tides, which was is out there as a demo, and it's really interesting. I think you would like it. Yeah, and so
I will put that on the list.
So here I am, talking with many indie publisher and developer right now to play their games. Also, Lucky Cat, who developed The Silent Kingdom, a really nice game.
Ooh.
It's a really nice game in RPG, old RPG fashion style, where you can date hot boys, or you can you can leave the boys out of everything. Yeah, and that's my talent. I stream it together with my community. We talk about it. Sometimes we don't talk about it and talk about everything, but not the games, like a good streamer would do.
Yeah, I mean you can't talk about games all the time. You gotta like spice up your content a little bit.
My community already know what my taste in men is. I think that's the most concerning thing.
I'm certain it's fine. I'm certain they are unallowed to talk because I'm certain they're either just like you or worse. So
I would say they love me. so yeah, that's my talents. I'm doing streamings for otome games, not so long as I play otome games, but I do it, and I wished Hardcage would be more known into the German part of the world, because that's where I'm, and I try to always say, play Hardcage, come on, play it.
yeah. Yeah, and one of my like biggest pet peeves with this game specifically, there's like no fan content on it. Like there's very very little fan content. Like I went on TikTok earlier today and searched Heart Cage to see if I could find any like cute fan edits or any cosplays because these guys are very cosplayable and I found nothing. And I'm very sad because this game is perfect. It's such a fan trap and yet nobody knows about it. Like and the voice acting. Why are there not 8 million TikTok audios of Dane saying, "I'll take care of you"? Like, what are we doing? We're falling behind. This is a call to action. Get to making the fan edits.
Why aren't there much more voice lines of Dane moaning in the internet?
I think we would get banned from TikTok. I'm not even gonna lie. I think we would get kicked. I think we as a collective fandom would get pinpointed and kicked off the platform.
So yeah, we are here doing content for Heartcage right now for Rice-chan's birthday. It's a special present to make her happy. And like we said, you already told much about your theories about the game, and I thought I need to do this with Vonnie-chan so we all get to know what her theories are. Because you are always so like, oh, I have a theory, and then you stop.
Yeah, I don't like. I sometimes I'm a little too confident in my theories, and I don't want people to start thinking like, "Oh, you're hacking," or "Oh, you're a little too confident in yourself. What do you know?" I'm like, I don't know anything. I just think stuff.
But you don't need to
But
hold
that's why I
back
don't really
here.
like go too in depth with stuff with theories for this. But now I can because it's gonna be recorded and it'll be proof that I'm not like on the like secretly on the inside or anything. Because that's one of my biggest fears. People will think that I'm just saying stuff and spoilering stuff for fun and betraying stuff. No, I only just met Rice like 2 months ago. I'm fine.
We should say before we start with your theories, we don't spoil content from Patreon, which means the Patreon only DLCs. If you want to see much more stuff and see if some of our theories might already be answered in these DLCs, go to Patreon. Give Rice all your money.
Patreon link in the description.
Yes, of course, Patreon in the description. And give Rice all your money.
Give her your money. Give her your wallet.
You know, I see us sitting here next year while talking about Hard Cage again, like MadPat talking about FNAF.
Uh-huh. Yeah, but at least I don't think I'm nearly as bad as Matt Pat with FNAF, because he's been going on about FNAF for like what, 7 years? Jesus.
Yeah, yeah. And I hope Rice-chan will not change anything because our theories are right, like
Yeah, please.
Scott
And
do.
if none of this was part of the plan, if everything that I'm saying is completely wrong, do not change it, because I want to be surprised. That's part of why I love the games. We want to be surprised by the twist ending and stuff. It's gonna be great. I'm so excited.
So let's talk. Let's talk about the theories and let's start with Usoda Town. We already talked a
So
little bit about it before we started, so come on, give me the dirt.
So I started out thinking that Usada Town was like this big, like hive mind community type thing, like so in history, Holts have moved into like secluded communities where they all like live around each other so they can stay together and make sure that everyone's staying loyal to the cause and everything. So that's what I initially thought was happening. And then Enox's character intrigued me a great deal in the extended DLC, not DLC, the extended demo, with him being a chemist and there being like a side character or NPC, speaking upon like so one of the side character NPC guys was being chased down by a reporter who had also just come to town and started asking about the secrets of the town, because the NPC guy he was talking to was apparently doing like a trade or a deal with someone else, and it looked like a chemical. So that got me thinking, does Enox have direct influence over everyone in the town? Because every time any chemicals are mentioned, it always links back to him. So, a big part of the theory that I'm thinking is that there are hallucinogenics, like chemicals or drugs that make you like think things that aren't like real or see things that aren't there. And everyone in the town is on them. Everything in the town is like laced with these chemicals to make certain people see certain things, that are not real, that are not true, that are not there. And there's like a big cover up that's going on in the town to like cover up this big thing. I will get to what could possibly be the big thing later, but that's what I think the town is going on. I think the chemicals are like just they're for the cover up. They're to make sure that nobody outside the town gets too curious, and to make sure that nobody in town like steps out of line. Like they also are like they are somehow like conditioning their minds to stay in that town as well, so that they can still be there for like the big purpose or something. I'm not entirely sure what that is though. I'll get to that in a second. And then there's also the theory that none of the characters, not a single one, except maybe Sid, is human. I don't think that any of the characters outside of Sid are human. And there is proof to support that in almost all of them. For Dane, he has very strange abilities like being able to knock someone out. Like he has like the power of influence, so he can like put people to sleep. He also has this weird thing where he's obviously very much tethered and connected to Orly, our MC, because every time someone gets close to her, he gets like this big scar on his chest, and it's concerning. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but I started connecting some dots, and through his interactions and demeanor, his relationship to G Sharp, and his abilities, and something that was said near the beginning of the game where he kept saying like she really doesn't remember me, and considers me a stranger even though I've been there a whole life. I'm thinking that he's an angel like he's her guardian angel, because how else would he have these abilities? Why else would he be so tethered to her? Why would he have known her for as long as he says he has if he hasn't been there the entire time? Like if he wasn't like sent there to protect her, because that's like his main thing. He wants to take care of her, he wants to protect her. So that's where the guardian angel thing comes in. Um for Enox, Enox is a vampire of some kind. And that mostly stems from this weird condition he has, where I'm guessing his sense of smell is really sensitive, but it also shows signs of being trained, which I will get to in a second. Um, he has a very sensitive sense of smell, to the point where everyone and everything around him smells disgusting, and that's why he just doesn't like being around anybody else. He just kind of stays at home. He's a shut in. He stays at home. He does his work. He concocts his concoctions and stuff. And then with Orly, with our main character, it's suddenly different because she smells sweet. She smells familiar, and she has like this weird crazy effect on him, and she both wants to stay away from her and kill her and also never wants to leave her side. It's such a confusing relationship. I can't wait to see where that goes. Um and he also has fangs. He's got fangs and he's got red eyes. This is, I don't really know what else to say. He's a vampire. But the weird thing is, what if he's a vampire? Why wouldn't he be feeding? There are two possibilities with that. The first being that he like somehow altered his DNA or the way that his body works so that he like does not crave blood or can sustain himself on things that aren't blood, or that he was trained or conditioned to not like drink anyone else's blood. But our main character, conditioned by who? Luke.
By Luke.
Luke and Clark. Luke and Clark, hear me out. Luke and Clark are like tied for who could be like right at the head of this. So for Luke, his species, for what I'm thinking, I think he's a werewolf of some kind. And there's plenty of evidence to support that. His demeanor, the way that he talks about main character, he keeps calling her little bunny, which is both slightly cute and mostly alarming. And like the way that he is around her, the way that he handles criminals, because he's a police officer, but he's also like kind of aggressive and threatening, like more than necessary against these criminals. Um, and he's also got like this weird power of suggestion thing going on. He can say things and they really affect you, and it's weird. But plenty of evidence to support Clark being a werewolf. There was actually an image that was posted to Rice-chan's Twitter around Halloween where he was literally dressed as a werewolf. So I am counting that as me being right. I take my wins where I can get them.
And
um for Sid, the only reason I think that he's human is because he hasn't really shown any like supernatural signs. I actually think he's going to be the more like mentally and emotionally manipulative, because of like him having known the main character for as long as he has, because they were like childhood friends. They were basically raised together. They're partners at the detective agency, and he like in the game, he says that he's coming to get her because he doesn't like that she's out on this commission by herself and out in that town. And weirdly enough, Clark is not at the office or answering Orly's calls or anything like that. So he definitely knows that there's something going on. So he wants to go save her. But the weird thing is, I have a sneaking suspicion that he knows exactly what's going on, and him going to quote unquote save her is going to play a great part in what's going to make her stay there and like stay like in their clutches so that they can continue their plans or whatever their plans may be. Um because the thing that's like sticking out to me is that he seems like he's very kind. He seems like he's just being protective over his childhood friend. He seems like he's just there to protect her. But his full name keeps messing with me. His name is Sid White Knight, and if you don't know what a white knight is, a white knight is someone who sets up for someone to be in danger or something to go wrong so that they can go and fix it or save the person and be considered the knight or the hero of the story. So I feel like he's part of the big setup so that he can seem like the hero and seem like the one to have saved her and gotten her out of whatever the situation is, and then he's gonna betray her, so she's like locked in forever, whatever this heart cage really is. um I think that's actually a pretty good idea of what his route might be, because we might be like actually trying to get out of town, and like he comes and gets us, he tells us how stupid we were being. There might be a Miko session, I don't know, but and he might like we might think that he's taking us out of town, he might think that we're leaving, and then we end up in the basement, and then we're like, what the frick, Sid? I thought we were going home. He's like, nah, I just wanted you to myself first. That would be such a ridiculously hilarious twist, actually. I'm not even gonna lie, I would laugh if I was right about this. That would be so funny. um for G Sharp, I don't know why, but I feel like he's gonna be one of the most tragic characters in the entire game, which is weird because he's such a good boy. He's the best of boys.
What kind of creature is G-Sharp? Frankenstein or zombie?
G Sharp is a demon, specifically an incubus. I know I mentioned something about him maybe being like a smashed together Frankenstein type monster, or maybe even being like an android because of the way that his hair is. It kind of looks like wires. No, I think that he is a demon. Let me explain. He is a demon who is under contract with someone in the heart cage, most likely Clark, if we're being real. Um, and I don't think he wants anything to do with this for the most part. I think his main goal was to um because I think that Clark promised him orally, like promised him her soul or something, and then like I don't know, he saw the way that they were going about it and he decided against it, but then he got captured by the rest of them, like again with the conditioning and the coercing and making sure that he stays with them and everything, because they need his power, they need his influence, because he's a demon and he has certain abilities. um so I think that he was kept in that town for a while, and he started the band. He was allowed to start the band both as like an escapism, but also like to fit into their plans of like charming Orly to stay in the town, because oh my gosh, there's a popular band that's going to perform, you don't want to miss that, and oh my gosh, the lead singer is adorable, he's a good boy, so I have to stay for that. So he's part of the charm effect. He's part of the charm element of the plans. Um, Another thing that made me think he was a demon is because there was a cute thing that happened in his part of the game where he wanted to make a pinky promise with her to come and see their show, which I thought was cute at first, and then I thought about it. Demons like making deals, and the pinky promise is a sort of deal. So I think that's how he makes his deals. He makes pinky promises. And he may have accidentally made a pinky promise with Clark, not entirely knowing what he was getting into. Because he doesn't seem too malicious. He really doesn't. He seems like he just wants the attention. He wants the escapism. He wants to get out desperately. And his music and his candy. There's a reason he has a sweet tooth as well. The candy was part of his conditioning. Remember how I said that the entire town was on hallucinogenic chemicals? The chemicals are in the candy that he's eating. So he's like being mind control manipulated by candy, and he I think he knows, and I think he's accepted it, and he keeps like that's why he keeps eating the candy. That's why he keeps like getting really sugary coffee, like, and it's something that it's basically like a high for him that distracts him from everything that he's doing and has to do and has been doing for all this time. So he's very much not okay mentally. Um, to the point where, like, I think he was conditioned to the point where he doesn't know his original name. G Sharp is obviously not his real name, but in a cute little interview short thing that was posted on Rice's Twitter, it was adorable. It was one of my favorite things. Someone asked him, the interviewer asked him, G Sharp can't be your real name. What's your real name? And he was like, I can't tell you. Why? Because I don't remember. You can't just say you don't remember your name and expect people to not be concerned. Okay. The tattoos also make logical sense because demons are often depicted with tattoos, and his tattoos look very deliberate. Um, I think him being in a band also makes sense because, like, demons can charm people, specifically incubi can charm people. Um, and he might be using his singing and his music, his band's music, to do like a trance type thing over the town and specifically Orly. Um, think like, okay, have you ever seen Hell of a Boss?
Wait. Yeah, I had seen at least 1, 2, 3 episodes.
Yeah, so Hell of a Boss. So did you see episode 3, Spring Broken with Verosika Mayday?
Yeah, I think I saw it. It's a long time I did so.
No, that's okay. But in that episode there is a succubus who is a pop star, and she sings this song in the human world that like gets everybody going. Everybody starts making out and stuff. But I think that that's going to be something that happens, like something similar is going to happen with G Sharp and his band at this at this festival that they keep talking about. There's going to be a trance put over the audience by the music, and that's going to help aid in whatever this big plan of theirs is. Um, I also think all of the routes are connected. Like, it's called Heart Cage, Cage, Chains, interlinking. It just makes sense. All of the routes are connected, and most of them lead to like a similar ending. I There might be good ends and bad ends. I think there's gonna be mostly bad ends though. Like, I think there's gonna only be like one or two endings where girly either like gets out of town or figures out her parents' murder. I don't think they'll be able to do both. I don't think that makes sense. Like, have her figure out her parents' murder and get out of town away from the boys. I don't think that's a little too good. That's a little too nice. Um, but oh yeah, Clark. Clark eludes me a great deal, and I'm very upset about it. He has one scene in the entire demo, and then he's just being all mysterious and confusing. He seemed like a sweet enough dude in the beginning, seeming like a sort of a father figure to main character. Um, but it's just something about him, just something about him. He gave me like slimy energy, you know. Um, and then he wouldn't return Orly's calls, but he was actively calling Sid when he found out that Sid was trying to go to Usador Town to get her. So he definitely knows something, and that's why I keep saying he's like him and Luke are like head to head for who could possibly be the ultimate big bad, the guy that runs everything, the guy that's putting all of this together. Um there's also like been uh Enox has gotten like calls and or deliveries from someone who we do not get the name of in the demo. And I'm trying to figure out who exactly it is because he says something about so he has a phone call in a certain part of the demo, and he keeps saying the guy on the other end of the phone is saying, I brought the girl to you, are you satisfied? And he's like, stop calling me, leave me alone. And then he gets like, I don't know, he gets a package. Main character delivers to him like an envelope or something, and he reads something about whatever was in this envelope, and he says, so I've been blaming the wrong person, and I've been trying to figure out what that means since I heard it. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think that there's any more than 6 main characters excluding main character. um so I don't think there's any extra characters. So now I'm just trying to figure out who's sending these deliveries, who's responsible for, well, we know who's responsible for sending Orly there. It's Clark. Clark is the reason that she's there. That's just it. But then there's the question of who this W character is. W is the person who sent in the commission for Orly to go investigate Usador Town in the first place, and we still don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Um but this character has been leading Orly on since the beginning of the game, like threatening her, throwing a rock through a window, and he's the reason that she sees the dead body that was killed and mutilated in the exact same way that her parents were. Like, it's clear that he's been here a while and he knows something, if not everything. So I'm very excited to see who that is. Um as for like why all of this is happening, what she's doing, I have a couple of like loose theories, but I can't pinpoint one. So the first being that so Orly has supernatural abilities as well. Um like every time she's around certain characters, specifically Enox, she gets this quote like warm burning sensation in her chest. So I think that's like she's connected to all of them in some way, shape, or form, obviously. Um but I think that's her abilities waking up. I'm not entirely sure what these abilities are. She could be like she could be a creature that is unknown to usual works of fiction. She could be like a completely like newly made up character by Rice. There's also the possibility that she could be a goddess. She could be a goddess or like the vehicle for a goddess, and that's why she's being cornered in this town by these specific guys, and why they're all like fighting for her attention. Because like, so my thinking is that if she's a goddess or like supposed to be a vehicle for a goddess to be on this earth for some purpose, they all want to be like her chosen or her preferred or her mate, so that like they get chosen by her to be with her forever. There's the possibility of her being a goddess and everyone wanting to be her partner, and wanting her to choose one of them. um but that also begs the question, why are they all working together if they also know that they're all against each other? That's confusing. Um, there is also the possibility of her being a sacrifice to something. Not entirely sure what. but it's definitely a sacrifice to something. There's also the possibility of her parents also having been sacrifices to whatever this thing is surrounding. And that's why they died in such a specific way, because the game describes her parents' murder as like their hearts were ripped out. So it's definitely a ritual concerning that of the heart, or like blood or something. So they might need all three of the hearts of this family, which is a great possibility. I'm not entirely sure why all of these different guys, all these different creatures would come together for this heart ripper ritual, though. Like the center of everything is what eludes me. Like I'm not entirely sure what's at the center of it all. Like why her specifically? That's the big question. Why her, and why here? That's the big question. I have no idea. I think that was everything. Hold on, let me go check my notes. Okay. Yep, I covered that. I covered that. Covered that, and then I believe that was everything. I think that was everything I had.
Okay. Really interesting. Especially this, they are all not human except for Sid. I'm honest. This is not my opinion. But I can see why you theorize this. For me, it's more like we heard about Usadar town. It's not a big town, not like New York or so, but it is a fast growing town in some kind of a landside. And there is the question, why is this economic booming like this? And
exactly.
And I think, and I thought hard about it, and and the thing is, I guess maybe it has something to do with drugs. And Enox is the one who created this drug. Maybe it's a new modern thing which get outside of Usura town. And remember, they told us that Luke is sent to this town to investigate something. He wasn't really clear what he investigate. So I think he is from a department somewhere else. If he's not lying to us, it could also be he is just transferred there because he did something bad. I guess that's normal.
That's also a possibility.
That's a normal thing to do. If you do crappy things, you go to a crappy place. And it's also a theme Persona 4 showed us. If you don't make your work good, you go to a little town like Yasuinaba. And yeah, if Luke isn't really punished and is really telling us the truth, I guess he's investigating the source of the new drug, which is which already got pinpointed at Usuda town. So he's searching how is it made, who is responsible for it, and then he got drawn into this murder case, but also the end of the demo where Luke kind of seemed like the bad boy who killed this man and ripped out his heart. He destroyed all the evidence, and I was sitting there and think, why would he do that if he is not responsible for it? Or do he already know who is? Also, remember Clark was an investigator, not always a detective. He was an investigator, and he was the one who found Orly. So I think maybe Clark have old connections to the police department where Luke was before, because we never knew which was his department. Where is he from? Is he from the same town as Orly or not? Or
that makes sense. See, that's why I keep saying that they're both like equally. They both have like equal parts in charge of everything going on here. I completely forgot about that murder that she stumbled upon being basically staged by Luke.
right, it could also be just a doll to scare Orly.
It also could have been, well, no, because why would he bury it if it was fake?
Finding a doll with a rip out kind of heart. Remember, it was dark. It was really dark there, and she just saw this this thing without a heart, and it triggered her memories. Maybe that was the reason they placed a doll to trigger her memory for something. And this was the point where, like, her power, what you called this burning in her chest, awakened the first time. So
yeah, well, there is a little bit of a hole with that because that started up when she met Enox, so that was like way earlier that day. But the weird thing about that, because it would make possible sense if for it to be a doll, if he hadn't like gone out of his way to bury it, like, and being all dramatic, like, I'm sorry, but you were just part of the plan or a pawn that needed to fall for this to happen or something. So he wouldn't have gone out of his way to perform that burial. He wouldn't have gotten all dramatic if it was just a doll. Cause so that's why I think that was like a real dude that they killed for this.
Only if Luke isn't a dramatic one and just do it for, yeah, Luke reasons. I mean, the first time we met him, he threw a watermelon onto a culprit.
He did knock that dude out with a watermelon. It was so funny.
It was really funny, and I thought, wait, he threw a watermelon first. Where did he get the watermelon if he's not on his day 3? And why did he wait so long?
She was coming out of a grocery store. She was coming out of a grocery store, so I think he just grabbed one from there. So, at the time of that like kidnapping thing happening.
But imagine, he jumped from somewhere higher down to the culprit and to Orly as he threw the watermelon on there. So he watched Orly the whole time while she was dealing with the kidnapper.
You are correct. I just thought about that. Oh my gosh.
So he was.
Bro's been stalking her the whole time.
He was stalking her and think, oh, let's see how it unfolds. Oh, this girl is interesting. Oh, she has a sharp mind. Oh, maybe I can use her for my investigation too.
Yeah.
I think Luke is someone who uses people for his own good, and if they don't work, he punishes them. Which was seen with his colleague who he called, I told you should keep him safe, and now track him back. I want to see him again. Oh, wait, what?
Don't let me see his face ever again. All right, big guy.
What if the person that got killed, which I thought could be a doll, is the kidnapper?
Oh my god, what if oh my god. They finally got rid of him. Like, they let him loose again and then killed him, ripped out his heart, and then used him as like the staged murder setting for Orly to be like truly hooked on staying in this town and figuring out what's going on. That is some dot connecting right there.
Yeah, but Ori didn't know because it was dark. She didn't see, and she was too paralyzed to go closer. But there is still the question, who was the secret person who talked to Orly at that moment? Was it the murder, or was it V? W. Sorry, my English.
W. Yeah. That's also something that's messing with me because at that point she had met actually, wait just a second. I was gonna say she would have met all of the main characters at that point.
She did, except for
But she
G Sharp.
hadn't. Yeah, G Sharp. And it would make sense for that to have been him, because if I'm right and he's a demon, he could probably easily change his voice so that she wouldn't recognize him. Oh my gosh.
Could be a thing. You know what we all know? Our beloved Rice-chan is from Hong Kong. And I googled, I used Google, our all-knowing Google, if the name Orly could have a meaning. And there is a meaning, which means the light is mine.
That could be either really cute and sweet and empowering, or it could be really threatening.
Yes, it could. Because if we look at it, Orly seems to be the light of interest for everyone. She got the interest of Dane, who says he knows her from the past, but I guess his ability he was talking about also erased her memories. Because she couldn't remember. She couldn't remember in the extended demo about this murder she saw. She couldn't remember about being scared.
Wait, I forgot about that. Oh my gosh.
So he doesn't just let her sleep, he also erased part of her memories to make her forget the bad things. What if he was, in the past, as young as Orly and used his ability the first time to erase something important? Orly forgot about the murder, because we know the guy who murdered himself or got murdered after he killed Orly's parents isn't the one who killed Orly's parents.
No, he's not.
So that's why. Oh my god. That's why I think this whole thing could be a cult thing, ripping out hearts to give it someone big meaning, full god or so on. And how should I explain it? It feels like it was it was like a ritual that has gone wrong. And maybe there is not only one murder, but a whole group of murderous people. And maybe Clark is investigating this cult. Because what would you feel if you are an investigator and there is this one case you have the feeling is not solved? What would you do? You would, and maybe your colleagues doesn't believe you that it's not over, because there is something you know about that no one else know. Like Dane and Clark know each other. What is their connection? So if he know Dane from the past, because he was one of these children who lived through this cult thing, maybe Dane gave him information, and his decision to live in Usoda Town is a chosen one, because he also wants to solve this case behind this cult, because he wants to keep Orly safe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that also begs the question, why send her?
To get the cultists out. I think he uses Orly as a bait. Not in an evil bland way, and I think he is already in Usoda Town, hiding somewhere, and trying to snitch out the cult people. And what if this cult people created this truck? They created this truck, or made Enox creating this truck, and this town is like a settlement which just grew too fast and is now his own economic place because it flew under the
That's pretty good.
radar. That's what I think. This is Usada Town is the place of a cultist ring who try to grow, and maybe their beliefs got somehow wishy washy. How is it called?
Yeah.
They called a little bit blurred about the time because we all know what happens if money is in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there is a strong a strong kind of a core of cultists who still believe on the old things and try to use Usoda Town to make their believings go out. And maybe they even used G-Sharp's band. Because outside of Usoda Town, no one ever heard of G-Sharp's band. They all just heard of it inside Usoda. So yeah, that's what I think. I think they will use G-Sharp. Maybe he's a child of the cult, and that's the reason why Dane got so protective against G-Sharp. Like
that would make sense.
Like in the scene where he just gave him in a rude way the drinks and said, "So I now go out."
Well, my reasoning for them having like a frenemy relationship would be like, as I said with my theory that most of them are like inhuman creatures. If I'm right about Dane being an angel and G Sharp being a demon, it would kind of make sense for them to like not for Dane to not want Enox to be too close to Orly, just considering like the natural like rivalry between heaven and hell. Like I just think that would just make sense. But your theory also has quite a bit of hold to it. Like that makes a lot of sense actually.
The question is, if you are a guardian angel, would you say to the girl you need to keep an eye on? Oh yeah, you can go to the festival where this group plays. And that's what Dane did in the demo. He told her she could go. They could go together, and it's very soon this festival. And if he knows that shit goes down there, I don't think he would do this.
He might like let her go. Like he might. Okay, what I think is gonna happen is that he's gonna let her go if we go the Dane route. We're gonna go to the festival. There might be a choice between going to the festival and staying home, but if we end up going to the festival, he'll the only reason he'd be letting her go is like to just not raise suspicion, not have her question anything, like why he's not letting her go, like just to make sure she doesn't get nervous or start questioning stuff. And then if stuff does start going down, he'd shield her, he'd protect her the way that he said that he would. So I think that would be like the only reason why he'd be confident in letting her go, because he would know that he'd be able to protect her if he really wasn't like allowing whatever was about to go on surrounding her. If he wasn't in on it. But if he was in on it, I think he'd be just a little too excited that they're going to the festival. And just be hiding it, like he's cautious about it.
Like, yeah, going on a date. Maybe he thinks like, yay, we can go because yay, date. Date doll.
We could go on a date. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna go wear cute outfits and go to the festival. And oh god, here comes it's time for the seance. It's seance time. But yeah, I just this timeline could go so many different ways, man.
There are so many things
and
going on.
With all the routes too, I'm so hyped.
Me too. Especially because I really think Clark isn't a bad person. I think he knows what's going on, and I wouldn't really be surprised if this letter with the money is from Clark himself, so he just set it up.
Yeah, that's also a possibility.
And maybe the stone thrown to the window isn't really from W, but from someone who knew that Orly is there. And I think that would pinpoint to Luke again, because if he's a detective and has connections like this with Clark, then it would make sense. And yeah, I think we need to wait how Clark interacts with the characters if he has an appearance in Usoda Town. We already know he don't want Sid to be there. Maybe scared that he will destroy the plan he made by making Orly the bait, which would make sense because if Sid goes there and get Orly out, the bait is out of the game and he can't get to the ground of the cult, which would be really crappy. Also, we don't know since when do Sid and Orly know each other. Was it before the incident or was it after, as Clark got her in? So yeah,
I think it was after. I'm pretty sure it was after. Like they were like raised around each other because of Clark. After she was basically adopted by him after the murder.
I think so too. But maybe we will see it if he interacts with Dane, and I hope they both will interact with each other because they have the potential to hate each other for I keep her safe. No, that's my duty. I keep her safe. She is like my little sister. I really think they could hate each other really hard.
Yeah. Like, I feel like there's a little bit of rivalry going on there. Like, they both want to protect her, but they both have different reasons for wanting to protect her, which would make sense.
And I don't think Sid knows anything about Usoda Town. He just has a bad feeling about it because it's not like Clark to get a mysterious a job and to take it. It's what Orly said in the beginning. He would never do it if he's not sure he know the person, even if there is much money involved in it. So I think Sid thinks exactly the same as Orly, and that's the reason why he think it's shady and Orly could be in danger. So no, she's a girl and I'm the White Knight and I need to protect the girl, like his name said, because White Knights could also be really toxic in some way if they don't accept that women can be really independent. And that's the feeling I got from Sid, that he isn't allowing Orly the independence she could do. I mean, we know what Orly could do. She can fight. She is good at investigating, and yeah, I think she could hold herself up really good if there aren't three yandere who would put her into a room on chains and do things with her.
Chains! When they're just standing there with no shirt. Where did their shirts go? First of all, let's talk about that. Where are the clothing?
They never had one in the beginning. And why do we see Enox between her legs?
Let's have that conversation. Okay, first of all, I got questions.
I have many
several questions. First of all, whose house is this? Whose house is this? Whose basement is this?
That's a good question. That's a good question. Maybe
whose house is this? How much are these chains? What are the chains made of? What are we doing?
And why are we enjoying it so much?
Why are we having fun? God dang it. What are we doing? What are we doing?
We are doing many dirty things. like being the good bunny in chains.
Okay, wait. Okay. I just thought about something. I think that's why we should not go to the festival, because I think that that's where the festival ends up getting us. We probably end up getting drugged and taken to the basement. I'm not even gonna lie.
And I bet the three boys just are in yeah, they are accepting each other there because they think it's to protect Orly.
Yeah.
I think this is their weird sense of protection as yandere characters.
Uh-huh. They're like, hey, if we all do this, we all get a chance. We all get a chance to prove ourselves. Let's do it.
Let's do it together.
Oh, I'm so tired.
It's really fun. It's really fun. But I don't know what I should make out of G-Sharp. Maybe he's like a siren? His music could be like a siren?
That's also a huge possibility. Like, it could have been the same thing with him being a demon, but he could also just be a siren. Like, a similar situation could have happened.
And the next thing I think about is, again, Orly. And I don't know why, but it kind of reminds me a little bit of the main protagonist from Please Don't Hate Christmas game Rice Chan made also. And it's really cute.
Oh, I love that game so much. It's so cute.
And there was this twist with the protagonist where she kind of was a special being. I can't describe it without spoilering things. And yeah,
we're only spoiling one game here, only one.
It's just a demo. And yeah, I thought maybe it could be the same for Early in some way, just not in this maniac, brutal way, but in a more healing light way.
Yeah, maybe.
Or in a much
like she might be able to get them to change their ways and like go against whatever this big malicious plan is, possibly.
And there's also the question, what can you do with hearts? Is there some mythology which
That's yeah, what is the heart motif? Why are people getting their hearts ripped out? Why is the game called Heart Cage? What is this?
I mean, heart could be the meaning for love, so love cage.
Well, obviously, there's obviously the love connection, but I think my theory about why the game is called Heart Cage is because they need her physical heart in order to complete whatever this weird ritual is going to be. So they're like caging her. They're making it so that she's mentally, emotionally, and physically trapped there, so that they can take her heart and use it for whatever they need to use it for. I don't know what they're using it for, but they need it.
Maybe they use the heart to, like, how should I say it? To awake something, because the heart symbolizes the core of our being. And if you read some biological articles about heart transplantations, there's always some witnesses that say, yeah, the person changed a bit after getting a new heart, and the person, her or itself said, yeah, I smell things I didn't smell before. I kind of have like memories I didn't have before. Like I see a person and my heart beats really fast if I saw this person. And so
That's really interesting. I've never heard about that. That's cool.
I think that could be one thing, and it would also explain the wild beating heart and getting hot from Orly if she sees something or recognize something. Maybe it's with Enox, it's something like the smell, like the pheromones that Enox could send out.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she just recognized some natural thing and her heart is reacting to it, and later on it reacts even more because she kind of has it everywhere around her.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that memory will lead us to the cult. I still stay with
Yes.
my cult theory.
And I'm with you on it. I'm with you on it. Just a bunch of guys who sacrifice hearts to stuff. It just makes sense. This is the only natural progression of things.
Maybe they are also eating hearts, you know. Ugh.
I mean, Enox maybe. He is a vampire.
Oh, for your vampire theory, how vampires could live without blood. There is a theory, or at least some stories where vampires live through flowers, through the energy of flowers.
Ooh. Wait just a second. I've heard about that. That could make sense.
I heard.
I need to go back through the game and see if there's any like flower symbolism anywhere, like if there are like specific flowers being shown anywhere.
I heard about it the first time from the Sailor Moon manga. And then I was kind of like,
oh my gosh, yeah.
And then I was kind of like, is that really so? And I did some researches, and yeah, there are really some theories and some stories where vampire live through flowers.
That could be what some of these chemicals are made of. Like they might be like naturally based chemicals from like flower essence or like the oils or just like the liquids coming from flowers. Like that's a possibility.
Which could also explain why it doesn't work anymore, because he smelled the sweetest flower of his life. And so he got hot for this flower. For the virgin.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Orly just smelled this way because she's a virgin.
That's also a thing. I mean, fantasy stuff like this, they love token virgins. It's hilarious.
Yeah. And then the virgins are all hot for the big bad vampire who made them a vampire too.
Mm-hmm.
But still, question, why between her legs?
Listen, let's talk about it. Questions.
I mean, I can't imagine.
Everybody got information so fast.
I mean, I can't imagine. Because between her legs, because the smell there is more intense.
That's a possibility. God dang it! Now we're theorizing about the cutscene. God dang it!
About the not safe for work cutscene. Oh boy, we should stop talking about the not safe for work stuff, or else we embarrass ourselves. So let's theorize our timeline. I mean, we both had our theories, and I guess we have like kind of good stuff to make a timeline happen. I guess we are on one page. The timeline starts with the murder of Orly's parents.
I mean, maybe because there might have been something that happened before.
Hey, it's Eri from the cut. Yeah, Vonnie is right. There's something before, and I will insert it here in the timeline, because before there started the murders. And so yeah, I guess it's important to put it in the timeline. So again, to you, Vonnie.
Her parents' murder, like you said earlier, with Dane. Dane obviously having had some history with her. So like they could have known each other as kids, or him being her guardian angel and having been around her whole life. And you said earlier that he could have made her forget something about the murder. that made the murder like all the more significant. So there might have been something that happened before that with Dane and Clark. But yeah, her parents were murdered. She was taken in by Clark after that. I don't know where Sid comes in. Sid might be like a junior detective to him, or that might actually be like another kid whose parents were murdered, and that might be why he's so aggressive. But I'm not here to give these characters therapy. The uh and then she grows up a detective. She gets really good at her job and everything because she wants to figure out what happened to her parents. Um and somewhere around that same time, there are plans being made around her by the murderer, who is obviously not dead, and the other guys that we see here. There are plans being made around her and her heart and how significant she is to whatever the big thing is that's going on. Around that time, we get G Sharpen on the plans. We connect with Enox and his chemistry company. Um, there are connections being made at the same time that she's moving up in the police and detective agency world. And then we finally get her getting this commission right before her vacation by her adoptive dad. Can I just say real quick? I want to know how we're going to make her adoptive dad being a dateable not weird. How are we going to make this not concerning? Why are we not calling the FBI? Bryce, I have questions.
Because he is not our real dad, and maybe we already had a crush since childhood because he saved us.
Still weird. It's still just a little weird. I mean, that could make that like one of his big villain plot points. Like he loves her even though that's like technically his adoptive daughter. Like that would make him really evil. That's a good direction to go in. That would make him mad evil.
I don't know how we can make it work, but there is a king for everything.
Oh my
I hope you didn't
god.
drink
Geez, I really
anything
hope it
right
doesn't
now.
go in that direction. I got questions.
We all
But
have
yeah,
questions.
she she gets sent to this town, and as soon as she gets there, all plans are in effect. The stuff gets kicked off. It's time to go to work, fellas. Um, we meet Dane again, probably. We settle in. We get our first dose of drugs via his coffee. Um, and we go out, we meet Enox, hearts collide. Him and his weird hair are experienced for the first time. I'm not gonna stop calling out his hair. He looks like a watermelon ring pop. It's hilarious. um and then he runs away. We go to the grocery store. We're just trying to get our groceries. We meet big scary Luke guy after heroically saving a little girl from a kidnapper, which was fantastic. That kidnapper probably doesn't last too long. Um we meet big scary Luke, who's being weird and really aloof and speaking in riddles. Stop speaking in riddles. Um, super random, but I love the music in this game.
Yes.
All of their theme music is fantastic. Enox being my favorite. It goes so hard. Like every time I play the game and it gets to one of Enox's parts, like I won't even click to make the dialogue go along. I just want to hear the song.
Oh, yeah.
Um, but then after we connect with Luke and he makes his strange self known, we go back home. We're trying to relax. We're trying to like wrap our head around this commission and why we're here, and then the rock gets thrown through our window and it's like, hey, come downstairs if you want to know what's going on. W. Haha. So obviously, naturally, we go downstairs, we go and check out what's going on. We go down to the alleyway next door, and oh my god, it's a dead body with the heart ripped out, exactly the way my parents were murdered. Trauma flashbacks ensue. Um, And then we have 3 choices. We can hide, which would make it so that Luke comes and finds us in record time, which is incredibly suspicious.
Yes.
Why do you know where I am?
And how are you so fast?
We can go back home to Dan and relax and go to sleep. We have some tea. We go to sleep. Unless you're playing the NSFW version. But you have some tea and we go to sleep. Or we could just like book it up the street and run into Enox again, who actually he does this. He's really sweet about this part. Like he tries to get us to calm down and make us feel better, which was sweet. I appreciate that. He's a good boy when he wants to be. He's not being horny. Like regardless, we end up going home. We have some tea at Dane's place, which makes us really loopy, and we eventually fall asleep. We wake up, we have almost no recollection of the dead body until it's mentioned to us by I think it was by Luke's text message. Don't quote me on that, but we wake up in Dane's apartment because our window was broken and he didn't want us staying there with a broken window. So we're staying there for the night. He makes us breakfast. It was really cute. We end up like bonding with him, washing the dishes and like just telling him why we're here and what happened to our parents. And we're not entirely sure why we're telling him all of this. It just kind of happens, just kind of flows out, you know? And he even makes a comment about this, like, why do you trust me so much to tell me all this? And we're like, we really don't know. We have no idea. But we trust you and we think you're reliable and nice. And he's like, really? I'm cute. She thinks I'm cute. And then we end up going to link up with Luke to go and investigate that murder scene that we were just investigating that night before we went home. And we end up gathering just a couple of details, figuring some stuff out, looking at different clues, even though most of the evidence was hidden by Luke that same night, but we're not talking about it. And he gets really weird this one time. He ends up like so he starts talking in riddles again, of course.
That's what he
the
does.
entire time with that cut scene, I was literally just thinking, please stop touching me. Please stop touching me. Stop touching me. What are we doing? Stop touching me.
You really would forbade this cute, crazy guy to touch you.
Yes, he's just been, since we met him, he's just been all up in my personal space this entire time. Sir, 6 feet. I have a bubble. Recognize it. But yeah, and then after we're done investigating, I'm pretty sure we go back to our agency. Okay, I don't remember which comes first. Do we go back to our apartment and we get the delivery that we have to go and take to Enox, or do we go to the cafe where we meet G Sharp? Which one comes first? I don't remember.
I think first comes G Sharp. We go down after the night and want to have a coffee or something. And then she comes in.
Yes, that happens before we go to the crime scene with Luke. Yes, we meet G Sharp before we go to the crime scene with Luke. So we meet G Sharp. He's being a good boy. He's being a sweetheart. He's there with his band getting coffee. He's being cute and flirty and stuff. And he's like, "Hey, you gotta come see our show sometime, babe. You're so cute. I love you. What's my name?" Anyway. And Dane gets a little territorial. He's like, "Your order's ready, G Sharp.
And now go.
Get out of my house.
Or I punish you."
And then, yeah, and he's such a sweet boy. He didn't deserve that. But Yeah, then after that, we go to the crime scene with Luke. That whole thing happens. We come home. Some time passes after that. I think it was like a 2-month period. And no other murders had been reported, and there had been no developments on the previous murder. But then she gets like this dude comes in and she gives her this envelope to go and deliver to the address on the envelope and pays her for it and then leaves, and she's just really confused because it happened so fast. So she just takes a taxi and goes to the address that was sent, and it's Enox's house.
Oh, I
She has to
remember.
deliver this to Enox, and he has a whole crisis. He's like, he just opens the door and she's just like, "Hi, I have a delivery for you." He's like, "What the fuck?
Go away!
I know where I live."
Go away or I kill you.
They actually threatens her life, which was so funny to me. Like, bro, are you really gonna kill me? This would be a lame way to end the game, guy. I'm not even gonna lie.
You go straight to jail if you do it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I mean that would be the killing of a police officer technically. So yeah, he is definitely doing time. But the yeah, he threatens her with mystery chemical that actually wasn't gonna do anything to her. I think that was I think that was like a toy syringe, because the she said it was the needle was like a rubber tip, so I guess like that was strictly for threatening purposes, which I find hilarious because that means he just has like a bunch of like fake syringes around so he can pretend to be threatening. It's adorable. Um, but yeah, and then he gets disarmed by Scent Connection again, and he's just mad. And she's like, "Dude, I was literally just here to deliver this for you. You're so mean. You're really weird. You won't stop making that face at me. I have no idea what your deal is. I'm leaving. I hope I never see you again." And he's like, "Wait, huh?"
Why is she angry now? It's so funny because it was more like he thinks, why is she angry now? I didn't do anything wrong. She come to
Like, you showed up to my
house.
house randomly. And then after that he opens the envelope, and he gets confused, like, wait, so I've been blaming the wrong person? And then he gets another phone call and he's like, "Stop calling me. I don't care that she's here. Leave me alone." And he just like he starts feeling bad about the way that he's been treating her all of a sudden. And when main character Chan, when Orly gets home, she finds this gift basket with a little teddy bear in it.
Scared.
And it says
Scared.
there's a note in it with him saying sorry. And honestly, that was probably one of the cutest parts of the game for me, because wait, he was like, "Wait, he's sorry. He didn't mean to treat you like that. He thought there was a thing going on. That's cute." And then I keep thinking about the extended timeline and the possibilities and the theories, and I just have to remind myself that he's probably evil.
Remember, she kind of thought that there could be a bomb inside the teddy bear.
She did think there was like a bomb or like a chemical or something in there. There was definitely a setup at some point, but no. It was just a teddy bear, and it was him saying sorry, which was nice. I appreciated that. And he even called her to make sure that she got it. Like, "Did you get what I sent you? Okay, good. I'm sorry.
Bye.
Goodbye." it was it was so cute.
It was really
But yeah,
cute.
she was just confused. And then there's another thing that happens. Freaking Dane. Dane just trying to relax. I feel so bad for Dane sometimes. Dane literally just tried to relax, live his life, be a better person. And then he gets this scar that I mentioned earlier. When apparently whenever Orly gets close to someone else, he gets like this really big, really painful looking scar over his chest. So he's just standing in the shower like, "Bro,
Not again.
I keep telling her that I am all that she needs. She doesn't need to go out looking for anything." And yet, cannot catch a break to save my life. I gotta be a little more aggressive with her to this point. Okay, I gotta really put my foot down.
Who needs
And
ice
then
cream?
the demo is nearly at the end at this point. The extended demo is nearly at the end at this point with Sid. Oh, I hadn't even checked in on Sid. The same day that all of the checking the crime scene shenanigans happened, Sid back at the original agency had just gotten home from another case that he had been investigating on his own. He
In the
came home covered in blood, as
yeah.
apparently he usually does. Quite concerning. Um, and he finds that the office is a mess, and Clark and Orly are nowhere to be found. And then he sees the little commission letter, and he's like, "Nope, I gotta go get her." He calls her, and he's like, "Hey, where are you? Are you really doing this commission by yourself?" And she's like, "Yeah, of course I am. I'm doing just fine." It's like, no, I am taking over. You are done here. We are not doing this anymore. I'm coming to get you." She's like, "No, I can do
No,
this on
wait.
my own. I just had a major breakthrough with this case. I think I found my parents' murderer." He's like, "You are delusional. You're coming home. You are stupid. Come with me." And she's like, "No, you really have to stop babying me. I can do this. I have been doing this probably longer than you have." He's like, "I'm still coming to get you." He hangs up, and she's just frustrated. She's just like, "Just leave me alone, man." And near the end of the game, like right before the little ending card, uh he is seen like just getting to Usadar town, and he gets a call. Clark calls Sid apparently, and he's like, we assume that it's Clark trying to convince Sid to not go through with whatever he's about to do, like going to get her and bring her back home and stuff. Because there's probably going to be some screwing around with his plans. So he's trying to get him to not do that, and he's like, "Nah, I'm going to get her and you can't stop me." Um and then this really cute little end card thing happens with, like, obviously at that point there is going to be a choice um between three different routes. We can either go hang out with Dane, we can go work with Enox as his assistant, or we can go check out what Luke has found with the crime scene. And that's where the demo ends. It's adorable. And I am so excited to see where this goes. I know there are several different directions that this could go in, and I'm terrified.
I'm not terrified. I just want to see naked men.
Yeah, that's also that's I feel like that's like the common mix of emotions whenever anyone's talking about this game. It's like, oh my god, the lore, the story, the conflict, the characters, the abs, god.
Oh, there is.
Oh my lord.
We didn't talk about a thing right now. Every time Rice releases a picture of Luke, I have the feeling his abs grow.
I mean, okay, wait, did you see that screenshot that she posted recently? It was like a couple weeks ago, of like apparently him, it's, I think it's a panel from the game, from like the game. Um it's him at the gym. So that could very much be a possibility. He could literally have just been working out between images.
You mean he get bust up this fast?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, have you seen him? He's huge. His shirt literally doesn't fit properly.
Does he have any clothes that fit properly?
That's honestly okay. Random pet peeve with like dateable characters in games like this. They like purposefully wear shirts that don't fit, like the buttons are hanging on for dear life. Like, we get it. You're a big muscly guy. D- a size bigger, big guy. Just one size bigger and you would be fine. You would actually look decent, okay?
And we didn't see Sid naked. He's just wearing his Yeah.
I like his big jacket thing. I want his big jacket thing, actually. I like it a lot.
We just saw him one time on the t-shirt in a t-shirt.
Yeah, that image messed me all the way up, actually. I was not prepared for that.
I wasn't prepared for everything on this account. I'm always a little bit concerned what people think is if I retweet again.
Hey, if you've been into these games for as long as you have, I would just not even be ashamed of it anymore. Like, these are my boys and I love them all, appreciate them.
Believe me, they already knew. But there is one image our beloved Rice-chan shared. The image of someone is coming to town. Do you think it's some picture of for Jan for our heart cage, or just the announcement for please don't hate Christmas?
Well, Heartcage has been like the center of the account's attention recently. So there's a 50% chance that it could be Heartcage, but it could also be Please Don't Hate Christmas. Just to spice up the content a little bit. But my money is on there being Heartcage stuff.
In the comments, they say it's the Strawberry Santa. We all know who the Strawberry Santa is. So yeah, it could also be the announcement for the voiced version in December for Please Don't Hate Christmas.
That's like the perfect time to drop the voice acted version too, like actually on Christmas. That's adorable.
Yeah. It's a cute thing, and I hope Dane is talking. I mean, Nick is talking.
Not to say, wait, Dane's in this game? Hold on.
We don't know if Rice is planning to mix up her universes.
That would be horrifying.
That would be
wild.
wild.
Oh my god.
That would be wild. I swear we would sit next year here and talk about the whole Rice universe. We would talk about the stranger person in Please Don't Hate Christmas. After seeing him in Heart Cage somewhere. To be honest,
like, where did you come from? How did you get in here?
To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if he really make an appearance in Heart Cage.
Plot twist: he's just the murderer. That's the murderer. That's the guy who killed her parents.
God is the murderer. We all heard it. You heard it here first. We all know religion is kind of deathly.
Oh yeah. Okay. I never asked you like who your favorite characters were. Like who are your guys? Like your main guys, you know?
Dane.
Just Dane, nothing else.
Dane, I really love Dane, but I also fell in love with G Sharp after seeing him. I was like, oh, he's so my guy. I can bake cake for him. I'm really.
Yes, I want to give him cookies and pat his head. He is adorable. I love him.
But I think it wouldn't work for a long time with us because I love cake and cookies too. So it would always be a fight.
We share, obviously.
It would always be a fight. Also, I think he's the dog person because Rice made a little cute emoji about him as a little cute good boy.
Oh yeah,
doggy.
He could be also just he's literally a good boy.
And I'm more the cat person, so yeah, it could be that we have some differences.
I really like, so I'm also a Dane girly, but I also really like I like Enox because of his intrigue. I really want to know what's going on with him. Like, how did you get here? How did you start your company? He's obviously very intelligent. Like that's what got me. Like he's very intelligent. Um he just got some things to work out. Bro thought he was asexual his entire life until he met Orly. Like, what the fuck? Where did you come from?
I bet he's a virgin. I mean, he was so surprised, like, why is this thing not going down? And I was like,
Help me! What is this?
bro,
I've never experienced this before in my life. What the fuck is this?
I was like, bro, never had morning wood or what?
Like ever? Like at all? Bro's just like he's just like nah. I'm not. I got 99 problems, but a bitch one.
So I think he is a really innocent virgin. Never had anything to do with woman or sex, and yeah, I think he's a natural.
Then Orly just had to walk up the street. She literally walked up the street, and his entire life was thrown into shambles. I'm so sorry, my guy. You were doing great until she showed up. I'm so sorry.
And so she got enemy number 1.
I mean, he has every right to want to kill her. He can't focus on anything anymore. Like, I'd want to kill her too. Honestly, if I was him, you screwed up my entire workflow. You have to go. You have to die. I'm sorry.
Or you could just, yeah, fuck already. Oh, I guess I need to be.
I think he's too prideful for that. He's too prideful for that. As of that moment, and then we get to the basement.
And he is, yeah, I'm all into it.
God, I made him. Yeah, I have to. Did you see the playlist that I sent?
Yeah.
For Enox's birthday, I made him a little playlist.
Yeah, I saw it. And I was really surprised that there isn't a song. Oops, I did it again.
That needs to go on there. I will make alterations later. I love that we just automatically connect him to Britney Spears.
I mean, toxic, okay, understandable, but why not? Oops, I did it again, because all the time he thinks about Orly, he gets horny again. So, oops,
yeah,
I did
that
it
makes
again.
sense. I will definitely be putting that on there. That's hilarious. I'm gonna just look for a bunch of Britney songs and put them on there.
Oh my.
We'll link it in the description. You'll need to listen to y'all want some Enox vibes, playlist link to description.
Or you could
oh gosh.
Who could be the Christina Aguilera type genie in a bottle?
Ooh, yes, I love that song. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he definitely gets that one too.
You rubbed me the right way. Oh god, I really need to stop. I mean, it's nothing my fellow viewers here on this channel aren't used to, because, yeah, I say some things and I don't really think much about it. Especially if hot boys are. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. I guess all Atomic fangirls have this kind of problem, maybe?
Yeah, after a certain point, it just becomes second nature.
Good. Good, that makes it easier for me. Yeah, Enox is your favorite. I kind of guessed it.
Enox is my favorite, but I also I like Sid, but like I don't simp for him. I more just like I have more in common with him. Like, his sense of style, he dresses similar to me. His hair is similar to mine as well. I do have it purple a lot more often than a lot of people would think. He I actually have a hoodie that's kind of similar to his jacket. His protectiveness is also something I can relate to, and he's purple. Purple is my favorite color. He was gonna be one of my favorites regardless. Um, I love G Sharp because of course he is a good boy, and I want to protect the good boy. Um, I love Dane. Dane is like the easiest to love. Dane has done
Yeah.
almost nothing wrong. Dane is a good boy. I don't trust Luke. Luke
And
is untrustworthy. I don't trust that man. I wouldn't touch that man with a 10-foot pole. Stay away from me.
I never trusted Luke. I saw the first CG of him in the demo, and I told to my viewers, guys, this is the crazy bitch here. I know it. He is the crazy bitch, and he is the reddest red flag of all in this game.
Yeah, he is definitely the reddest red flag. Oh my god. Okay, and then oh my god, who else? I like Clark. I think Clark is fine, but that's only because we see so little of him in the
Yeah.
demo. Like we see him he gets like 5 minutes of screen time altogether, and then he's just like popping up in random places across the across the demo as like a bodiless voice. Like I don't know too much about him, so I can't get too attached to him yet.
On Patreon, there's a DLC for him in his younger years, I guess it was.
Hmm.
I didn't play it so far, and like we said, we will not spoil anything, so we can't spoil anything.
Yes, we will not be spoiling anything. If you'd like to know what happens on Patreon, go and give Rice your wallet.
Yes, you
The whole thing.
You can also hear some really hot stuff there. I tell you,
man, I wish I had Patreon.
I tell you,
I have been building these theories purely based off of the game, what she says on Discord, and her Twitter. That is all I've been working with.
So you would build theories on dicks?
I mean, if they're part of the plot.
And yeah, the content there is really, really steamy hot. Yeah.
Ah, jeez.
Oh boy.
This is fun. I'm so excited. This was so fun. I really hope Rice-chan likes this.
Oh, she will jiggle the whole time. I swear, sit there, maybe with a piece of cake, eating it, hearing hearing our podcast, and she will jiggle and think, oh yeah, that's a good idea, but not even close. Or boy, they got me. and she will jiggle.
Honestly, if we got even one thing right, I will be the happiest person in the world. Okay.
If we get one thing right, I hope Rice show it to us. Maybe in some special way, like art on her Twitter account, or in some other way, and then we are sitting there like MadPat in front of this closed trunk, and we think, so are we right? Are we not?
Are we correct? Was this correct? How close were we? Really? Like, tell me.
I really think Rice will enjoy this episode, and I really think Rice will enjoy all our theories. And I kind of have a feeling we aren't really far away from it, but we aren't even close. That's what I think.
So I feel like with some stuff we're kind of on the money, but I feel like we might be reaching a little too far. We're giving a little too much lore, but I'd rather it be too much lore than nothing at all. So
yeah, that's what I think too. And I think if my laptop is finally here again and I play the DLC from Patreon, I will think, oh boy, we got so far away. Because there are DLCs with I guess it was Luke, it was Clark, and guess there was one with Sid, but I'm not really sure. So, Luke, there was on Patreon some kind of a phone call. I'm not telling you what was in this phone call, but he got a phone call. So, if you want to hear it, Patreon.
I'm so scared.
Are you scared because of this phone call, or?
Yes, I'm terrified because the only people we've ever been on the phone with were Sid and Enox. Sid was fine. Enox was fine. I don't trust Luke, as I've said before. I don't trust him at all.
But Luke has many fans. Yeah, I heard some people really like Luke, and I'm always sitting there and thinking, why? Why? Is it because he is a busty detective boy, or
Like I think it's purely because I think it's just because he's got like he's really well built and the voice acting's great. Again, the voice cast is phenomenal. Like everyone was cast so perfectly. Everyone's performances were great. So proud of them. They're so cool.
I sit there and I sat there and said to my community, boy, if I can moan like this in a playful, believable way, please don't shoot me. Because
I feel like I would have money if I could voice act like this, man.
One day,
make me a game.
one day, if I have money, I go to Nick and say, Nick, as a birthday present for myself, please play Dane and gratulate me to my birthday. I would so enjoy it. And please moan a little bit. I love your moaning. Please do it. Thank you.
God dang it. Oh my god, you got more confidence than me, man. If I even find out that any of them saw this, if I find out that any of the voice actors for the game saw this, I would probably spontaneously combust. I'm not even gonna lie. I think I would just explode. I don't think I'd survive.
I think that's the moment where I say, guys, please, our dearest voice actors, if you see this video, if you hear this, please write in the comments. Please.
If they comment, I'm going to explode. I'm not surviving. I don't think you understand. My life is in danger.
I will tell you if I see a comment because I see it first. I have my comments on control to delete all hateful speech and so on. Yeah. But if I see one and I activate it, I will tell you, Vonnie-chan.
Oh, jeez.
And then I
mean, obviously, Rice is gonna see it. And knowing Rice, she's probably gonna send it to other people. I'm just mentally preparing. Because I sound like such a nerd wallet. Oh my god.
Yeah. Rice will really see it. I mean, of course, Rice will see it. We will post it on Discord on her birthday and say, surprise! and then she will have hopefully a really nice birthday.
I really hope she has a happy birthday. She's been working so hard on all of her games and her writing and her promotions and everything. And she's so cool. She's so talented. And I look up to her so much. Like her storytelling, her creativity, her character designs, everything. And she's such a sweetheart. Yeah. She's so nice. I adore her. I adore her presence. I adore her energy. She's so cool. And I really hope she she never loses her spark for creating and bringing her creations to life for other people to enjoy. Like I genuinely appreciate her so much. She's so cool.
I really appreciate her too. She is so easy to talk to, and it's so fun to talk to her. She's also really active in the Discord channel, which makes me really, really happy because she interacts with us as her community, and it really feels like Senpai noticed me.
When I first got to the Discord server and I started like babbling on like, hello gamers, I am here for the theories, I'm here for the lore, I may be here for the thirst content, but mostly the lore. And she was like, oh my gosh, hi. And I was like, yeah, wait a second. You're Rice. You're like, you're the actual Rice. Okay. I had a little bit of a moment. Like I had to take a second. Like, wait, that's the real Rice. Oh my gosh.
You know,
I'm so grateful for this community. It's so cool.
I felt like this too as Rice followed me back on Twitter, and the first thing I did was write a Twitter post about, oh my god, Senpai noticed me. and it's really easy to talk with her. I wrote private on Twitter because of this "can I stream it" thing, and yeah, so we exchanged some messages, some words, and oh gosh, I love this girl. I love.
She's so cool.
I
appreciate her so much.
And I hope, dearest Rice, I hope you has a really, really great birthday today, and
I hope you have a wonderful birthday, Mama.
Mama, mommy.
It's just something I say. I'm sorry.
Rice is mommy now.
I mean, she gave birth to all of these games and all of these guys, so she's technically mother, I guess.
Yeah, she is. These are her babies. And yeah, I hope the community surprise kind of worked, and Rice, you didn't get anything to know before. We really tried to be really secretive, and we oopsie daisy activate.
I don't think we even said anything about it in the Discord. We never said anything about it in the server. We kept this in DMs, which was really good on us.
Yeah, we kept it in DMs, and we also oopsie daisy activated the automod who says there are strange activities here. Many people get DMs. Be careful.
And nothing to see here. Nothing going on.
And Turchan and Arson and I was like, oops. I hope she didn't get it. Because
I'm certain it's fine. I'm sure she'll still be surprised.
Of course, I hope she is surprised, and I hope her Hong Kong friends surprised her too. Because I wrote with Noir, and I already heard about one surprise, and if the time isn't right, I will not drop it right now. But I really hope she has a great birthday. She is happy and lucky, and I hope we can give her much more love next year too. Yeah.
Thank you, Erenya, for inviting me on here. This was honestly one of the coolest things I've gotten to do all year. Like, I literally, like, I was literally just talking my best friend's ear off about this game, and I finally, like, had an outlet to really just let myself go and talk about this, because it's one of my favorite things right now. And you're very sweet and very talented and hilarious, and I relate to you a lot, and you're really cool, and I greatly appreciate the opportunity to hang out with you and talk about one of our collective favorite games. I greatly appreciate this a great deal.
I really loved it too, Vonnie-chan, and I hope we can do it again. Maybe we make together a channel, the Otome Theory channel.
Otome Theory might be a thing. It's a possibility. I gotta get better equipment first, but I mean, it's a possibility.
It would be so funny to do this and make 7 years content purely for
7 years of dating simulator content, ruining your adulthood since 2024. I don't know, man.
I don't know too. But hey, that's just a theory.
An Otome theory.
Thanks for watching.